What's up, everyone? It's Q from RetroQ Gaming, and in what's kind of a surprise announcement after some rumors and rumblings that had been going on for a few months now, ZombiU was an Ubisoft game which is previously exclusive to the Wii U, is now coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So, first off, yeah, it's coming to Xbox One, PS4, PC. It's coming to all three platforms as digital only game, so it is going to be available only through Xbox Live, the PSN, or what I can assume will be Uplay and possibly Steam. But it's coming out on August 18, 2015. So we're looking at 3 weeks from now. It'll be out 3 weeks from now on those three platforms digitally. There's no real details on the price and all. Ubisoft released a trailer for the new version of it today. I'm going to have the trailer in the description below, so I suggest you possibly check that out if you're interested in it at all. Now, on to what I actually think of ZombiU as a game. Now, it's not so much... It's not going to be a game review or anything like that, but it's going to be a quick thoughts on the game and what I think about might actually happen on the new versions. So, I have ZombiU. I bought ZombiU first off. By the way, ZombiU released alongside the Wii U in November of 2012 when the Wii U actually launched. It was one of the few launch games on the console. I personally didn't pick up my Wii U until maybe, I think it was January or February of 2013. So it was a couple of months after the Wii U launched. But I picked up ZombiU with it. So I had two games. One was Nintendo Land, which is bundled with my console, and the other I bought was ZombiU. So I started playing ZombiU. At first, I didn't really like it too much, but I think that was just to do with initial confusion and just it starts off as a very confusing game. There's very little explained to you, and it's kind of tough to get into. Now, having said that, it was easily probably the best use of the gamepad on the Wii U, even to this day, on any game. Now, Mario Maker might change that, sure, we'll see how that goes. But ZombiU had a fantastic use of it, and it's still arguably the best use for the gamepad, and the best just... There were other games that had decent variant on it, but ZombiU is possibly the best one. So what ZombiU is anyway is ZombiU, which is, by the way, is only going to be called Zombie. There's ZOMBI. There's no U in it. When it comes to PS4, Xbox One, and PC, it's a zombie survival game set in the UK. It's set in London. So the thing that makes it, I won't say stand out, is you're not some crazy, super overpowered dude. You just play as regular people who obviously can get wrecked by zombies very easily. I mean, zombies can basically get critical hits if you're really unlucky and just basically one-shot you. And if you do die, you take over as another survivor, another random person survivor, who obviously, because they're a random person, they have no gear, no anything like that. You actually have to get to where you died as your previous character. You have to kill the old character as a zombie. So you'd have to kill them and pick up the equipment that you previously had on them. Now, it's an okay game. Like, it's definitely not a bad game. Depending on the price, I would most likely suggest you check it out. I can't really give a suggested price. I mean, I would say, I can't really say it's like, well, if it's €20 or less, give it a try, or if it's €30 or less, give it a try. If it's €40 or less, give it a try, because it all varies on, your own personal willingness to spend X amount of money for what you think of the game. So I can't really give a thing on that. But the real thing I want to talk about, the realest thing I want to talk about in this entire announcement is the Wii U gamepad. Now, because I've mentioned it a few minutes ago, the Wii U gamepad and ZombiU had the best collaboration of use together. Even compared to, say, Nintendo games, first-party Nintendo games, ZombiU still had the best variant of it. So the main thing it was used for on ZombiU on the Wii U was there was two main things really. One, it was a map basically. The first thing it was a map. When you were going around doing all, exploring and looking for places, it was a map. You could ping the map as well to get locations of zombies every so often, like a radar or a sonar, if you will. But the best thing about it, now I'll go into something else about this in a second, but the best thing about the gamepad and how ZombiU used it on the Wii U was the fact that when you go into your inventory system on the Wii U version, the game didn't pause. The inventory was all handled, like your backpack was all handled, the inventory on the actual gamepad screen, and the game did not pause. So you would have a limited field of view on the main screen, like on your TV. You would have a main screen. Your character would take off his or her backpack. They'd crouch down, start reaching into it. You'd be doing all the stuff on the gamepad, and the gameplay would still be going. So you'd have to make sure you were safe. You'd have to keep an eye out if there were zombies nearby. It would be, you'd have to really plan out some clutch healing or some clutch inventory stuff if there were zombies around and you were in trouble. So I do think that ZombiU will lose out on that aspect of it if this is the key part I'm going to say. Now, I don't think Ubisoft will release a separate companion app for it. They don't seem like they could be bothered at this point. It doesn't seem like they could be bothered. However, on the Xbox One at least, because the Xbox One has integrated smart glass, and that's a kind of, it doesn't, each individual game doesn't need its own companion app because of smart glass. They could use smart glass to replicate that. Now, fair enough, unless you're using a big ass tablet, it's not going to be the same as like a phone screen. Even the largest phone screens nowadays still aren't as big as the actual Wii U gamepad, or at least the screen on the Wii U gamepad, I should say. So unless you're using a tablet specifically for it, fair enough, that would do that. So I'm curious how to see what they would change in the, what would be essentially lost in translation. But I do think that is one thing they should keep for it, even if it, I don't like to say even if it's an Xbox One exclusive, because I do think that Ubisoft would just be lazy and just couldn't be bothered because of the amount of work versus the amount of sales they could possibly get. But I do think for Xbox One and the Smart Glass app, I think it would just be handy to be built into that rather than release their own separate thing. As for the PS4, I don't know if I do have the PlayStation app. I only downloaded it last week. I don't know if the PlayStation app works in a similar fashion, or if it would require its own individual game app. We'll see. Who knows? Or we'll see. Maybe this won't even get ported into any of the versions at all. We'll see how it goes, because it's 3 weeks away. It depends on your own personal view of it. I don't think it will detract from the main focus of the game, but I do think it was one of the main features of the game that did make it stand out from the crowd of the rest of the zombie style games. The fact that you couldn't pause it when doing your inventory and you were stationary, so it did require some more planning and carefulness, and kind of, I hate using the word, but kind of immersion into the whole surviving a zombie apocalypse thing. But anyway, all that's out for debate in 3 weeks from now. We'll see what the deal with it is. So let me know in the comments section below what you think about the fact that it's actually coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC as a digital-only title, the fact that it's no longer Wii U exclusive, and what could potentially be left out or missed if you're only playing one of the new versions and they don't have any type of, second screen support for like the inventory style like the Wii U did. So let me know all that in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, details in the description below. The link for that video trailer will also be in the description below as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel.